Hello, this is Marty Ettington, and today I'd like to talk about the Godlike Power series, which is my first series of 5 books about paranormal or spiritual abilities. And each book goes into depth and lots of details about what they are, examples of them happening in real life, and how you can learn them yourselves. So let me talk about these 5 books. The first one is about human invisibility. It's all about stories of people turning invisible. It's about historical stories, some invisibility pictures, science and invisibility, camouflage, the psychology of invisibility, spiritual invisibility, and exercises to become invisible. The next book is on invulnerability and shielding. There are psychic and spiritual techniques you can learn to shield your body, and these can be learned too. So there's some stories about people who've done this and the events they were in, about the question of was George Washington invulnerable considering all the battles he was in and never getting a scratch, other invisibility stories, my thoughts on invulnerability, spiritual invulnerability, how it's related to energy flows and chakra development, and some exercises you can do to learn this skill too. The third book is about teleportation, a much rarer skill, but it does seem to happen to people. And there's some examples of this in the past. And it's a really interesting ability which people would love to learn, but it's also pretty difficult. So the book goes into some historical stories, how to know the difference between astral projection and teleportation, spiritual teleportation, again about energy flows, and some teleportation exercises. Really interesting phenomena here. Next is about psychokinesis, the ability to move objects without touching them. And this is an interesting way that you can learn how your mind can control matter in time and space. The history of psychokinesis research, spoon bending parties, our question of poltergeist being psychokinesis effects, harnessing it, things like the Global Consciousness Project and WebBot predictions, which are psychokinesis predicting the future or affecting it, and then exercises to learn it. It's really an interesting story also about this popular ability. Lastly, we have the book Our Energy Body, Auras, and Thought Forms, because there are a lot of spiritual and psychic energies that are influencing our body or part of our body, and you can learn how to develop those by learning to develop your mind using meditation, opening chakras, learning to use vital forces, how to see auras. Lots of interesting things about that, which relates overall to the ability to do other things psychically. So these 5 books I all found would be a good thing to start with for people wanting to learn more about these abilities. You can find them on my website, MKEttingtonbooks.com, under the paranormal category, and then going down near the bottom, looking at the bundle of Godlike Powers series, which takes you to the page that shows the details on each book. Thanks for listening.